And welcome back, everybody, to Unpopular Reviews Entertainment Women's History Month. And today and this week, and on this month, on this day and this month and this week, my pick has been one of the greatest movies of all time. But those who know Mike Knox here knows I call every movie the greatest movie of all time. We chose women directors. So when I thought of a woman director, I thought can only be one movie to me that stands out by a woman director. And this is not just one woman director. She's one of the most phenomenal women directors there is, and Penny Marshall on this program. So guys, stay tuned. A League of Their Own.
You ever hear of Walter Harvey? He's starting a girls' baseball league. Want to play?
Huh? You're gonna have 4 teams, 16 girls to a team. Some of you are gonna have to go home. Okay, some of them are going home.
I want you to manage one of the new girls' baseball teams.
I haven't got ball players, I've got girls. There's no crying in baseball. Got him!
I can't do that.
Who can?
And people, I'm not here alone tonight. I am joined by the team, the crew. I got Miss Tamara join us tonight. The wrestling doll join us tonight. Also, the next doctor join us tonight. And I even think, this is what's funny about Unpopular Review Entertainment. There's some shows we can't find nobody. Then there's certain shows we got a plethora, like a smorgasbord. You know what that is? You know, like going like Golden Corral, full of people wanting to talk about it. That meant that this movie was that damn good, people. The wrestling doll is here as well, as I just said. We're talking about A League of Their Own. People, if you have not known about this movie, and the trailer not showing for you right there, it basically takes place, I believe, in World War II. World War II. It took place where, hey, the men were going to war and baseball got put on strike. And they said, hey, let the girls do it. And then, you know, you're talking about in the world today where everything is, you know, I guess to say women's lib or the fight for women and how women are now getting their upcomings in movies today and in TV shows, things like that. This was ahead of its time and showing that tribute to women of their time. You got great cast with Madonna. You got Geena Davis. You got John Leffler. I know I said his name wrong, next door doctor, the scout guy. I love it. He said, I'm going to go home now and give the wife a little pickle tickle. And to this day, I still say that line to my wife. I love that line. I love this movie. All about it. It comes together, them coming together to play baseball. And then we're going to review this movie. What you like, what you didn't like, some of the good, some of the bad, if there was good or bad. So I'm going to start because you know how it is. We got ladies in the house. I'm going to start with Miss Tamara. To my right, Miss Tamara, you are up first. Your thoughts on A League of Their Own?
Yeah, I enjoyed this movie. I'd never heard of the movie till I saw it just today. Probably about 10 minutes before the show, the movie ended. It was 2 hours long. But I was not bored, like, from start to finish. It was very well made. I was surprised that a movie that good, I'd never really even heard of it. I appreciated the casting. I thought there was a lot of, you had Tom Hanks in there, like you said, Madonna. I was like, oh, wow, it's like a star-studded cast. Yeah, I loved the movie, so I'd really say for now.
How old are you?
I'm 25.
You said that's understandable. This movie's probably like 25, you know, came out in 1992. All right. So this
I wasn't
movie's
even
older than
born.
you. You know, right. My daughter's 25. It means 98 you were born. So, man, shame on mama and daddy Tamara, because you should have seen this movie. And you're like, it's like Christmas time. My kids got to watch Gremlins. They got to watch The Christmas Story, The Christmas Vacation. Hell, my kids even watched The Jerk by Steve Martin. He hates these kids. You got to make your kids watch good movies. Wrestling doll, your take on A League of Their Own.
Well, this is one of my all-time favorite movies ever. It's in my top 10. I've watched this movie like 20, 50 times.
Yeah, I'm up there with you.
My parents didn't show me the movie. I found it with my sister's stuff in a DVD, and I put it on like maybe, I want to say 5, 6 years ago. And ever since then, I love this movie. It's ahead of its time, like you said, and you can't go wrong with the classic movie. It's the one time I like baseball.
The one time. Speaking of that, we're going right now in American Classic right now against Japan. We're losing last time I checked 2-1. The next doctor. Look, I see you with the patch in the back. You know what I'm saying? I'm like wrestling dollar. I've seen this movie 50, 60, 70 times. Like I love this movie. I mean, I got another trailer I'm gonna play later on in this movie. We all know the infamous, most famous, right, line of this movie, right? It's not what y'all think it is. Okay. I'll let you go next, Doctor. Your take on this movie.
I love this movie. I saw this movie when I was younger, and at the time, I didn't even realize that Madonna was in it.
Oh no, you thought that was? Who you thought?
I didn't know who it was.
All the
I'm
way
looking at that
Meg. Like ain't nobody seen your bosoms in this town.
I was focused on Tom Hanks and Geena Davis. Back in the day, Geena Davis was in a lot of movies, and I loved her in all of the movies, and I loved her on herself. Of course, Tom Hanks, loved him as well. And yeah, I mean, this was an enjoyable movie back then. It was still enjoyable now. There were some things that I guess consider them cringe now.
Okay.
When they were first talking about it, they were calling it the girls league, the girls. And I don't like calling grown women girls. And so that part right there was like something that I guess kind of developed, and it struck me. I was like, man, yeah, I can see, the male dominance in the era because they're calling it girls league. It was at one point they did mention that it was women's baseball, but then they went right into girls, and I was like, oh man, and that dynamic just kind of threw me off. But still, I loved it, the whole thing. Rosie O'Donnell, definitely a star in there as well. I've always loved her stuff. So yeah, this was a great watch to see it again.
I said you must ain't sit through the Police Academy trilogy we had to take care of. We took care of. But see, everybody thinks the most infamous line in this movie is the scene where Tom Hanks said,
Are you crying?
No.
Are you crying? Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
And that's not the infamous line. The most infamous line.
Before you say it, because I have an honorable mention for a line, and maybe it's the same one.
Okay.
It was when he was signing the kids' baseball.
Is that my baseball?
Sure.
Yes, that one.
Wow. Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugan. Wow.
Yeah.
Great advice, kid.
Great advice.
That's good advice.
Great advice.
That's the greatest line in the movie. To this day, when I'm doing my shows and the chat's on fire, I always say, yo, the chat's on fire. Avoid the clap, Jimmy Dugans.
And another thing I didn't catch until this watching of it. Like Madonna, I didn't catch the clap.
I don't even understand what that means.
And listen, look at the consultants. Like we don't know. Not a fan of this movie. What are you a fan of? Do you like Air?
Roman Reigns.
Do you like Daylight?
That's how you know the movie's good when Chris.
That's how you know the movie's good. If he says not I've never met no one, and The Rock means no one who has not liked A League of Their Own. I'm being honest. There's movies you be like, A League of Their Own. That's like hating the Orlando Magic. You can't hate the Orlando Magic. They never been nobody to hate. Just makes no sense how you hate this movie. But I love what you were touching on next, Doctor, there. And Terry, you seeing this movie for the first time today means, and you say you enjoyed it, means it holds time. Its legs carry.
It's timeless. Yeah, it's also, like he said, like the casting. I didn't realize that was Rosie O'Donnell till you just said it, so it surprises you.
When a time where it wasn't so open for Rosie to be Rosie O'Donnell, also, I'm a fan of this movie so much that anybody checked out the Prime series, A League of Their Own.
I didn't even know it existed until I was looking this up, and I saw, there's a TV series.
It's a TV series that is it takes pieces from the movie as it has to, but it's its own story, and it goes a little bit deeper into, of course, today and what today makes things, and women in love with other women and things like that they were not allowed to show back then. And there's a couple hitting cameos in there. And Rosie O'Donnell's one of the cameos that shows up on the TV series. It goes in a whole different direction and how women couldn't play ball. It's kind of be loosely based. I remember the part where when the black girl bus was there and she threw the baseball back.
Right.
It's supposed to be her character.
Okay.
That's the story part of her story takes place in this movie or in the TV show. But this movie, like you said, you got Geena Davis. Okay, one of my other lines in this movie, I know we're not doing quotables, but to this day, it had to be you. I'm singing a Nelson. Ain't a Nelson. Listen, Marla Hoots. Okay. If you remember when the team, the dad said, "All right, baby, switch left-handed," all the players, oh God, like they knew. They're like, you're not gonna pick her because she's not cute enough. They didn't want to pick her because they didn't think she was cute enough. And I loved how they refused to leave. Like, yo, she's good. She's really, really, really good at what she does. So I say this, and I go to with this one, Russ and Doll. What are some of your favorite parts of this movie?
Well, that part, like you mentioned, definitely the scene where they're out at the bar having fun, just enjoying themselves after working so damn hard. And the scene between Tom Hanks and Geena Davis's character when they're in the bus, like chatting a little more and just getting closer and closer, so that he can understand they're not just girls, they're women that can also play with the best of them like he can.
I love that. I love that take. They had many parts of this movie that they were their standouts in the movie. Geena Davis, I think, and Tom Hanks, and their dynamic in this movie as well. Next, Doctor, I want to ask you this question because you've seen the movie several times. We know the ending of the movie, right? Kit's all upset. Kit gets traded. She gotta go because she's not the queen of diamonds. You know, like her sister Dottie. And she's always swings at the high ones. Swing at the high ones. This time she swung and she wasn't going to stop running. And she's running. And she's running. And she hits her sister. And the ball pops out. Did she let her win that game? That's a question we will never know the answer to that question. What do you think?
I think she did. I think when she hit the ball, and then she didn't stop running, I think she knew, okay, she wants this. I think she realized that her sister wanted this more than she did. And she was like, she was going to let her have it. Because of everything else, you know, her talking about being in her shadow, she was like, you know what? We both made it this far. That's a great accomplishment in and of itself. I'm going to let her have this one. I think she did.
What do you think, Wrestling Dog?
She most definitely did. I mean, since the beginning of the movie, we all knew that Geena Davis' character Dottie never even wanted to be in the league in the first place. She only went in because her sister didn't go in. She wasn't going to be in to become Queen of the Diamonds in the first place. So, yeah, I think she definitely let her sister get the win because she needed it. She needed it more than Dottie did. Kit needed that. So that way she could finally break out of being the Queen of Diamonds' little sister or Dottie Henson's little sister.
You know, as you say that, it reminded me of how brilliant I think Creed 3 is. Little spoiler alert, right? And one of the things in there, as Major's character is talking to Adonis's wife, he goes, "Didn't you want it a little bit? Just tell me the truth. You wanted a little bit for yourself." She learned, and that's what Tom was getting out of her, his character, Jimmy Dugan's character, but someone like, yo, you're good at this and you like what you do. That's what brought her back when she left. So, but it does ponder the question, because she did like the win. Did she let her sister get over it? Tamara, this is your first time watching when we've seen it a dozen times. What do you think? Did she let her sister win that game?
3 out of 3. She let her win. I think she wanted to win. I think she was trying to actually win. I think the next doc actually pointed out that when she hit the ball, because she told the pitcher, when you throw the ball like this, she don't really be hitting it. Like, we could win. Like, she don't know how to hit people who pitch the ball like that. But then either it was luck or maybe she was practicing. She did end up hitting it. And then like you said, when she kept running, that's when her sister was like, oh, like she really trying to win this. Like, and she also knew I'm probably not coming back after this season. So she probably made a split decision in the moment. Like, Let her have that.
That's
You got it.
that's a first timer right there. See, I look at it so many different angles, so many different ways of watching this movie and dissecting this movie, and I just look at Gina Davis's character, and I just go, but my wife and I always make fun of, let out the high ones. I like the high ones. Mule, nag, like their whole dynamic was so great. And then when you watch the trailer for this movie, she was actually one of the stars in the movie. I didn't know who the hell she was before League of Their Own. Who Kit was, and I watch a lot of freaking movies, okay, and maybe I've seen her in some things, but notably standing out a League of Their Own in this one, and not just her, like the whole cast in itself, I thought did a good job from Betty Spaghetti to Madonna. You had the lady who was on the road with them. Like I said, all the males that play Squiggy from Laverne and Shirley. Again, another Penny Marshall, a disciple from Laverne and Shirley. He's the broadcaster in the booth. He said, I've seen too much to know that I've seen. What did he say? I've seen too much now to know that I've seen it all, or I've seen it all to know that I've seen just too much.
I've seen too much.
I've seen too much. It's like, and it goes into the dugout scene, and you can see kind of like Meg's character, and they were kind of like, it's okay. Like, that was so unexpected of her. I wonder if some of the teammates, at least coming out of that locker room, questioned, did she drop it on purpose? And I watched it again today just to reiterate. It looks like Madonna's character kind of knew, like, we'll be waiting for you in the bus. Like, you just, we know you choked the game away. All right. So we're going to go through right now, give our final thoughts of this movie. Thumbs up, thumbs down. I'm going to start with you, Tamara. Thumbs up, thumbs down on this movie, A League of Their Own.
Thumbs up, 100%. From the cast to the story. Also, just learning about the time period, like the part where Tom Hanks, I guess the carrier comes in with the letter because somebody's husband died in the war. Like, that was real deal for the time period. It reminds you of, like, I guess the historical context that everything's happening in. It was really well done. I liked it. It's
a brilliant AMC from Hollywood to real life documentary on A League of Their Own. I love this movie so much. I watched that a few times as well to see what was true and what was not true at that time. And the movie says they're playing baseball. It was actually softball they played, which I thought was kind of, like, why couldn't they play baseball? I noticed that because they were underhanding the pitches. Wrestling doll. Thumbs up, thumbs down. You've seen it 50 million times. You say it. I already know it's a thumbs up for you, right? you're like Vic on this show, and hell, so am I. Every movie I pick out, I know I gotta pick a movie I hate one day just to come on here and give a thumbs down to something and sound like Chris, make Chris feel a little better for himself.
I could rant about how much I don't like him.
We can all do that. We can have a whole 3-hour show about that, 24-hour marathon. The next doctor. Your thumbs up, thumbs down. Favorite parts of this movie?
Definitely a thumbs up. I want to give a shout out to the kid that gave Gina Davis a ride to the party.
Yes.
Yeah. He had gumption.
Good Lord.
But I loved her comeback and then his rebuttal to that. She was like, how about I smack you around a little bit? And he was like, why can't we do both? I mean, that's a move.
Shoot your shot, man. Shoot your shot.
That's a move, so thumbs up to that kid. Thumbs up to the movie.
Obviously, I give it a thumbs up as well to this movie. Like I said, someone, what was that comment somebody put up there? Groot, star-studded cast. Absolutely. I won't say it's Madonna's best movie ever because I'm a child of the 80s. You know what I'm saying? I won't probably knock you there, but I probably liked her better in Desperately Seeking Susan just because I liked Desperately Seeking Susan. You know what I'm saying? But that just don't judge me being a corny 80s baby. When I say that, because I'm not knocking her performance in this. I just like that movie. I was, it was Madonna and Michael Jackson. That's what we liked when I was growing up in the 80s. Okay, so don't blame me. Blame MTV when they played real stuff. But make sure you guys check out all the shows on this network. I mean, my gosh, we got the Flash reviews. That's coming up tomorrow night. Or is that tonight? That's tomorrow night. Did it go up already? No. I know Flash is still here. They go on Gotham Nights. We got the Scream review. If you have not seen that, make sure you go check that out. We got all the Star Wars stuff. All you Trekkies out there. I mean, like, my gosh, how many darn Star Trek movies are there? And there's still a Picard on TV right now. Will they just die already?
Never.
That's never going to happen. We have streaming television. They have to make these movies. They have to fund it's out here to be seen over and over and over. They're going to They're redoing. You ready for this? They are redoing Gremlins.
Why? It's already a classic movie.
Because they have nothing better to do.
They have nothing better
kind of idea since like 2017
to do. You had mentioned one of my favorite parts of this movie before we got to here, though. It's not just the seeing the boy was definitely one of them. Just the going over to this day when my family drives crossbones over cemeteries. Like, you still play Punch Out in your car? Like when a car with one light out, you punch the person next to the car.
No, I never heard this cross out or this punch.
It's I guess it's a Southern thing, but ladies, remember that always make sure if you have sons to tell them.
Yeah. Can you send my baseball?
Sure. There.
Wow. Avoid the clap.
Tell me so I can tell my sister she's got two.
Wow.
That's good advice.
That is the greatest advice someone could ever give somebody. Listen, guys, my name is Mike Knox. That is Tamara. That is the Next Doctor. That is Wrestling Doll. Make sure you guys check out all the shows on Unplugged Review. Like I said, this is Women History Month. Penny Marshall directed this movie. We got, like I said, Tom Hanks, Geena Davis, Madonna, Rosie O'Donnell. The list goes on and on and on. John Levko, that's his name. Played the scout in this movie. I just thought this movie was just absolutely phenomenal, guys. Leave a little bit of the trailer from the original trailer that came out in 1992, y'all. We're out of here. Peace.
I'd like to lead you all in a little prayer. Dear Lord, may our feet be swift, may our bats be mighty, and may our balls be plentiful. And Lord, I just like to thank you for that waitress in South Bend. You know who she is. She kept calling your name.
This summer, Tom Hanks is managing the impossible, the Rockford Peaches.
Who says girls can't play baseball? Who says women can't throw?
Slide! Slide!
Thank you. Give them a league of their own to play. Then stand back and get out of their way.
That sounded good.
So let's all root for the girls' team. Let's give the poor coach a break.
You're still missing the cutoff man. Now, that's something that I would like you to work on before next season.
'Cause it's Flash, Flash, we're having a bash at the old ball game.
Got him!
Columbia Pictures would like to take you out to the ball game for an all-star comedy.
They'll pay you $75 a week.
We only make 30 at the dairy.
Well then, this would be more, wouldn't it?
The manager, Tom Hanks.
Are you crying? There's no crying. There's no crying in baseball.
The catcher, Geena Davis.
What do you say we slip in the back seat and you make a man out of me?
What if I smack you around for a while?
Can't we do both?
The pitcher, Lori Petty.
I made it! I'm a peach! A Rockford peach!
The scout, John Lovitz.
Are you coming? See how it works is, the train moves, not the station.
And batting cleanup, Madonna.
What if my uniform bursts open and oops, my bosoms come flying out?
You think there are men in this country who ain't seen your bosoms?
A league of their own.
All right. God knows we have a game. It's not like any of this helps, believe me.